Did you know that in Monsters University, during the initiating ritual when Squishy's mom turns on the lights, we can see a six-wheel car in the background? That's actually Mike's dream car in Monsters Inc.
3 little words, Sully. Six-wheel drive.
You missed this in Turning Red. If you watch Pixar animations a lot, you know that Pixar shows an Easter egg for the next animation in their current project. Turning Red was teased in Luca with a reference to the boy band called Four Town in Turning Red.
Who knows what's up?
Pixar fans know that the next upcoming Pixar animation is a spin-off to Toy Story called Lightyear. As you have probably guessed, Turning Red also makes a reference with a sticker under the skateboard. You missed this in Monsters University. In the beginning of the movie, if you look closely at the teacher's lips, she counts 19 students.
Okay, we're missing one. Who are we missing?
Which means that there are 20 students in total with Mike Wazowski. However, when the students are told to pair up, Mike doesn't find anyone to pair with.
It looks like it's you and me again.
This shouldn't be the case if there was an even number of students.
Come on, Karen, we're falling behind.
Please don't call me Karen.
Did you know that in Frozen, in the early drafts of the movie, Elsa and Anna were not sisters? And also, Elsa was originally intended to be the evil queen with an army of snow monsters. But Disney decided to completely rewrite the ending. This great decision made Frozen one of the biggest hits of Disney in 2013. You missed this in Tangled. In the beginning of the movie, when Rapunzel is showing us her routine, there's a special guitar lying on the background. Can you recognize it? That looks exactly identical to the Rooster's guitar in the 1973 Robin Hood.
Oh, that's an early day folk singer.
You missed this in SnowWhite. As you remember, the characters of the show were 7 dwarfs and SnowWhite. When SnowWhite goes inside the house, we can see 3 beds here, 3 beds here, 1 bed here, and another one here, which means that there are 8 beds inside the house. If there are only 7 dwarfs, why do they have an extra bed? Who is the extra bed for? What do you think? Was this a mistake by Disney? You missed this in Capture Underpants. In this scene, when the toilet starts breaking down and writes error, if you watch it in slow motion, you can see David for a brief moment. But who exactly is David? David is actually the director of the movie.
You know, when DreamWorks came and approached me about directing it, I was just like, I'm all in.
Did you know that in Megamind, when Megamind and Minion go to Hal's apartment, you can see that he's reading a book called Best Villains Ever, which foreshadows the fact that Hal will turn evil in the end of the movie.
There's no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England.
You missed this in Bolt. As you remember, there was a fake show that was being created inside of the cartoon. I have reasons to believe that this fake movie might actually be a spin-off to Inspector Gadget. As you remember, in the movie, Penny owns a dog called Bolt. And in Inspector Gadget, there is also a dog, and guess who the owner is? Penny.
Well, it's obvious what's going on here.
And she also has a ton of gadgets just like Penny does. But the biggest clue that I could find is this guy. This guy was supposed to be the main villain of the fake movie. And Dr. Claw was the main villain in Inspector Gadget. If you look closely, you'll find that he has the same iconic sign from Dr. Claw tattooed behind his head. You missed this in Tangled. Based on the story, Rapunzel was trapped inside the tower her entire life, and all she ever did was to paint the walls. One of the things that the audience missed was the paintings on the lower parts of the wall where only a child could reach, meaning that these are the paintings from Rapunzel's childhood. But when you look at the top of the wall, the paintings get so much better. With this small Easter egg, we can assume that Disney was basically trying to say that as she grew older, her paintings got better, and she was not a great painter from the start. You missed this in Megamind. In this scene when Minion and Megamind are training Hal, you can see that Minion is throwing stuff down in a 2D platform. Doesn't it remind you of something? That's actually a reference to the original Nintendo Donkey Kong game, which Donkey Kong threw stuff down and you as the player had to dodge the obstacles. You can even see that Minion is dressed like a monkey in this scene. So what are your thoughts? You missed this in Attack on Titan. As you know, the Eldian king always treated Ymir like a tool to conquer other nations, and Ymir used her powers for the Eldian king like a slave. The reason why Ymir's Titan is created like a skeleton is because she doesn't have a personality of her own, she's just a slave.